So, along with Car Photography Week, you can use toy cars as an option. So, here are some examples of toy car photos. Again, you can use this as an alternative if you either can't go anywhere or you maybe don't have any interesting cars around your house, but you might have some toys around your house. So, if you look at these objects, in order for them to be realistic, is you're going to have to shoot clear foreground, blurry background. You're going to have to get close. You're going to have to get low on the ground. So, in order to create that illusion of realism, you will have to get down with your object. So here's a good example of clear foreground, blurry background. If you are shooting with your cell phone, you're just going to tap on your object and kind of angle it in a way where you can get that blurry background to create the illusion of realism. If you are shooting with your DSLR, I would recommend that you switch to manual and use your fine tuner to create this effect. So, when you're shooting toy car photography, you do want to keep in mind that objects around it are usually the dead giveaway for that illusion to be broken. So, for example, this is a really good car photography photo, but I would get rid of these leaves here that give away the illusion that it's a toy. Make sure you shoot your car photography outside. Again, because you might be dealing with a shiny object, you do want to pay attention to the reflections in your work. Here's a really good example as an exception to the rule, because there are always exceptions to the rule. This person put their car down low in a clover field and they shot with the object. And because you have this kind of blurry-like effect, it almost creates this whimsical feel for this photo. So it actually works for this image. Here's some examples of making your car look realistic. So again, that's achieved by clear foreground, blurry background. You could easily take a car photo downtown and place it kind of on like a little concrete slab. And because the city is so far away, it's going to appear really realistic. Here's another example. This is as the sun is setting or rising. It is clear foreground, blurry background. What makes this example interesting is that your angle is diagonal and creates that rule of thirds to create interest in your photo. You can use kind of any surface that you want. So if you want a high-end luxury look to it, you could get a reflective or a shiny surface so that it creates this reflective feel. What's great about toy photography is that you do have the option to look above and below very easily because you can manipulate your objects a little bit more easily. Here's an example of just a simple image with a simple background. You can use the backdrops that I provide, or you can just use everyday nature. And then I want you to look at the following photos. So here's an example of somebody who did not take much time into their photo. They literally sat their image or their car down in the grass. There's no illusion here. They are a little bit too far away from their photo. It's really bright and sunny, so they're dealing with harsh shadows and harsh highlights. So what they would need to do is they would need to get a little bit more down with your object. Find something other than grass to photograph because the grass gives it's kind of a dead giveaway that you're dealing with a toy car. And then there's no depth of field here, so there's no clear foreground, blurry background. So if you would just simply take this toy car and maybe sit it on the asphalt and have clear foreground, blurry background, and shoot up a little bit closer, you'd have a more successful photo. But this is an example of something that I don't want you to do. So if and when we do decide to go out and take photos for Car Photography Week, there's some safety things that you need to know. So the first thing is make sure that you are not laying in the road. And if you absolutely must do that, make sure you have somebody to spot you in case a car is coming by. Also, it is common courtesy not to touch other people's cars. So if it is not your car, don't touch it. And then if you're going out to car shows or to like any kind of parking lot, I would make sure that you have somebody with you because it's a little dangerous to go anywhere by yourself. So if you have any questions about Car Photography Week, feel free to email me.